Good morning. This week's story, as we're still doing about winter and snow, is called Betty and the Yeti. Do you know what a Yeti is? We'll have to find out. Betty is a little girl. Now, when we read a story, we've got to remember, do I start at the front or do I start at the back? Can you remember? So I start at the front. And am I going to be reading the pictures or reading the words? That's how we can look at the pictures, but we're going to be reading the words. And we're going to read them from left to right. So I'm reading Betty and the Yeti. I'm not reading Yeti, the and Betty. That would be backwards. So let's get started. Okay, can you see? It's very snowy and there is an igloo right at the top. Betty has a little red sled that she takes wherever she goes. She pulls on the ropes and flies down the slopes, whether it freezes or snows. Did any of you go sledging in the snow? You see Betty? Betty finds things in the snow when she goes out to play. She puts them gently on her sled and then goes on her way. So she's collecting things she's found. One day she found a pair of gloves. She put them on her sled and a jingly-jangly fluffy hat, which she put upon her head. Why would you find gloves and a hat in the snow? Ooh. You see? And when she saw some snow boots as hairy as a bear, she tried them on her little feet and stamped from here to there. So she's got a hat, gloves and snow boots. Then she found a woolly scarf all thick with twigs and leaves and one enormous smelly coat that came right past her knees. Can you see Betty? She's got the hat on and the scarf and the really long smelly coat. Do these clothes belong to you? Betty asked her polar bear. No, he said, and shook his head. I don't need clothes to wear. Why does the bear not need any clothes to wear? See, he's got his big thick fur, hasn't he? I've got thick fur to keep me warm. I do not mean to gloat, but I've no need for hats or scarves, and I never wear a coat. Can you see the polar bear? We need hats and scarves, don't we, in this cold weather? Do these clothes belong to you? Betty asked the big blue whale. No, the whale shook her head and splashed her great big tail. I've got blubber to keep me warm, a special kind of fat, though I do like bells on that jingly-jangly hat. Can you see her? So the polar bear has got fur and the blue whale has got blubber. Who's going to ask next? Let's have a look. Do these clothes belong to you? Betty asked an Arctic hare. You see how he's white? No, he said, and shook his head. Ask that rock over there. Do you think a rock wears clothes? But look at the footprints in the snow. Ooh. What a strange thing, thought Betty, peering at the rock. But I've asked a hare and a polar bear, so I can't see why not. Do you think rocks wear clothes? Hello, rock, said Betty. The rock did not reply. Hello, rock, said Betty. The rock was very shy. But finally there came a voice that said to little Betty, I'm really not a rock at all. I'm actually a Yeti. A Yeti? Squealed Betty, and she tried to run away. But please don't go, the Yeti cried. I'd love if you could stay. Betty's feeling scared. Oh, look at the Yeti behind the rock. He's only got his pants on. Yetis in the wild, you see, are rather shy and small. We have to wear a lot of clothes to keep us warm at all. My clothes are big and hairy. They give folks such a shock that I threw them all away and hid behind this rock. Oh, he doesn't want to scare people anymore, look. They were all scared, so he threw his scary clothes away and hid behind the rock. It's very hard to make a friend in the land of snow when you scared them all away before you've even said hello. Poor Yeti hasn't got any friends. Maybe Betty will help. Betty didn't fret at all. She handed him his clothes. You'd better put these on, she said, before it really snows. He's going to put them all back on. Can you see? He's put back his coat and his hat and his snow boots. He's got his scarf on and his gloves. Be all warm again. So Betty, I think, is going to be his friend. She took his muddy gloves in her little mittened hand and talked with him and walked with him across the frozen land. You see the Yeti and Betty and the little red sledge all together. Let's see who else they make friends with. Soon they met Betty's friends in the cold and snowy night, and the smelly, hairy Yeti, well, he gave them all a fright. Look at Hare's face. Look at Polar Bear's face. Oh, no. And Whale swam away. Wonder if Betty can help. But when they saw Betty had hold of Yeti's paw, they knew they didn't need to be frightened anymore. And the hare spoke up quite bravely in a loud and cheerful voice. I'd befriend a Yeti, given half a choice. So Whale and Bear and Arctic Hare became the Yeti's friends. The Yeti kept his clothes on and was never cold again. Betty made a hat like his. She wore it every day, and when she went out on her sled, she jingled all the way. So, maybe you can think of somebody you know who hasn't got many friends, and maybe you could play with them and hold their hand, and then other friends will come and join them as well. Because it's really important not to be on our own. So say who you can think you can make friends with today. Have a brilliant day. Bye.